Alright, we can go 3 ways now. This door, and the portal. Let's do something with the portal first. Can you go there? He doesn't do anything with it. And I got an empty pistol and some loose cables. Let's just try to...
I think that'll just break it.
Nope. Okay, let's try this door first. What do we have here?
Oh, never again. It crawled through the night, and then they grafted their eyes and tore through my skin. Oh, never ever, never again. They came for our mothers and then for our king, scratching the guilt and eating their sin, changing God's work, a seed to begin. We burned them with fire and killed them with men. Let us remember, never again.
Are you a pacifist? Don't like to get your hands
Again the radio? Or just voices? And a lot of blood. Bloodstains, the flickering lights draw morbid attention to the arcs of blood staining the wall. A main medical deck entrance security door. An entrance to the medical facilities. Let's try it out. It doesn't do anything with it. What else? Reception desk. The contours of the sleek reception desk perfectly mirror the curvature of the walls. Reception chair. It's as if the chair has turned shyly away from the sight of the bloodshed nearby. And a medical bay terminal. Medical bay, yeah. Personal data tag detected, John Maracheck. Personal data tag has no security clearance, system is locked. Okay. That's clear. So I can't do anything with this room yet, I think. I only got the loose cables and an empty pistol. Don't think I can do with that very much. Let's try the other room. Okay, what is the blood? Ooh, 5 creepy dudes over here, and the blood is just crazy. Blood, you can't begin to estimate how many lives were ended here, and where are all the bodies? It's like an abstract painting. From one angle, it's the handiwork of something mindless and automated, but from another, though these brush strokes are angry with rage, or worse, indiscriminate and gleeful. And the thunder is really adding to the dark mood of this game. So here are bloodstained environmental suits. These suits look relatively intact, despite the new decorations spattering their surfaces. And I can use these one. Although they are saturated with human ichor, the suits are in working order. Okay, can we use one?
Serotonergic receptors are present in your principal vascular system.
Okay.
Derogatory comments or other intimidating actions.
What did we get? Oxygen cylinder.
No, that won't work.
I connected it with the cables to get an oxygen cylinder wrapped with cables. Okay. There's a force field. Charged plasma molecules dart across the surface of an invisible electrical field. And we can go even more south. Let's see what we can do with it. Alright, we can see the other room, but we can't get past it. Can we check it out? No, I can't seem to go there. I don't think I can fix it with these items I have. Well, let me just try to be sure.
I don't think that'll work.
Nope. So it's clear we need to be here. But for now, let's go this way. Ooh. Colorful room. Medical machinery. Unlike much of the other machinery, this terminal was designed to assist in healing. An extracted PDT. Several bent spinal hooks protrude from a disengaged personal data tag. So that's what it is. Personal data tag. These are pipes, red, blue, green and purple. You imagine yourself as a doctor in a space opera, barking a sharp line of dialogue to identify this piece of machinery. There are cryopreservation tank. Oh, there is a cryopreservation tank. This tank, viscous syrup, is a cocktail of cryoprotectant and synthetic amniotic fluids. It's hard to pronounce. Surgical pod bed, whether beneficiary or victim, this is where the surgery patients lie. Clear enough. This is the main surgery pod base, a high-end surgery pod, sophisticated enough to perform nearly any operation with a tiny margin for error. And here we have plastic surgical curtains, a modesty curtain. It takes you a few moments, but the joke hits hard. Wait, what? Is there a joke? I don't get it. And there's a discarded hospital bed, a call to rest, to sleep. The lightning lights up the room. Okay, let's try this one first.
Back. It's been cut open.
Of course! They must have manually removed the PDTs. That's why the security systems were reset in medical.
Oh, the bodies. The bodies in the crew quarters. They were skinned. Creatures were using the PDTs to move through secure areas.
Must have realized what was going on.
So for me to get to the lower decks.
You have to remove your tag.
Remove?
Perhaps electric shock. No, that wouldn't work. John? This is the only surefire way.
What are you saying?
The surgery pod should already be programmed to remove it.
It didn't work out so well for this poor woman.
It's the only way, unless you space jump between decks.
This is surgery.
John, prep the pod.
What? Really just like that? John has to go into the machine. I didn't notice the woman yet. And then his back will go into surgery to remove the spine. More PDT. That's crazy. Okay. Maybe over here. What did we get? Personal data tag. Looks yucky. Can we just use this one? The surgical tray. The stainless steel tray bears a faint splatter of biological tissue across its surface. And there is a PDA. From Isaiah Al-Rajkupar, the Indian doctor. January. A new year for the chief surgeon and a new year for the staff of the medical deck. I have to think of it that way or it gets rather confusing. The staff of the medical deck now consists of 3 extra sections: cybernetics, tissue regeneration, and for some reason medicinal hydroponics. Yes, it may be medicinal, but as I told Dr. Milan, they are still plants. I don't wish to seem ungrateful. It is Kane Corporation who opened so many new doorways for me and who redefined the frontiers of medicine for us all. As a man who served his apprenticeship on the battlefields, elbow deep in the blood of innocence, to see those deserts and war-torn villages reborn as images of nirvana is a privilege, and all thanks to the sciences of Kane. And yet it's hard to understand why on the Groomlake so many departments are being forced to share resources like this. I hear our budget will be up for review soon, and the chances of us getting an increase are slim. I shall try to remain positive. Then February 18, my goodness, a 300% budget increase. I have not yet been able to even imagine how helpful this financial windfall will be. Dr. Milan assured me that a sizable portion of this budget will be applied to Project Seed. It makes our work that much more essential. We'll order new equipment and new samples, although I don't totally agree with the ethics of Dr. Milan's acquisition of volunteers for surgery and testing. The leaps and bounds we've made in our research more make up for the rest of it. Is it wrong that we must test the limits of morality for the greater good? Then May 4, I'm a surgeon who has seen many awful things in the blood-soaked abattoirs of the Pangea Wars, so perhaps this should be second nature to me, but I don't recall agreeing to the use of children for testing. I went to inspect the stasis tubes at the request of my chief nurse and found that there were several children, some as young as 9 years old, awaiting processing. Children? I was shocked and appalled and demanded an explanation from Dr. Milan. Edward Jenner had to test vaccines on children to see if they'd work, he said. I knew the story. What medical does not? Jenner injected infected purulent exudates into the child's arm, which must have seemed callous disregard for the child's life. And yet it saved the boy. That is how he convinced me. We are the frontier of the sciences. Chances must be taken. I do not always feel comfortable with these ethical choices, but his logic is sound. The research is too valuable for us to let a few moral qualms get in our way. So he agrees with Dr. Milan in the end? Come on. They're just children. December 17, I fear that my decision to become a surgeon with Kane Corporation is not quite simple as I thought. The first casualties of the infection spreading across the ship came to my lab, where we had to set up a quarantined operating room. I had to get hands-on with a patient for the first time in years. The flow of blood, the cutting of infected tissues. Using my specialized tools, God forgive me, but I enjoyed it. It's impossible to explain the adrenaline rush from playing God in such a way, of having the lives of so many on the verge of death in your hands. I felt it on the battlefields, and I feel it now. It is not the beauty of birth that moves me, it seems, but the pungent stench of death. I thought I joined Kane Corporation to save my soul. Instead it is to slake the thirst of the beast in me, whose jaws slaver at the scent of blood. I am ashamed. So he has grown evil? December 20, the last one. How could I not have seen it? Those awful life forms are disguising themselves as us inside us. They wear our skins and our PDTs, which explains how the security systems cannot detect them. If I didn't already know where those creatures came from, this would perhaps be less frightening. But they've learned the vile abominations. Abomination, what a word that is. It appears to summarize what we have created in our hubris. We have created evil. God help us all. So the creatures are trying to assimilate humans? Like in the movie The Thing? And where are they now? Guess we'll find out. Notices and reports. Yeah, we already read that one. Emails from Dr. C. Beckman. Analysis report. Dr. Milan has recalibrated his guidelines for subjects in Project SEED, and specifically the requirements for any female subjects who have previously been pregnant. The female subjects should ideally have been screened, but the precise source is not important. Since the project has a 99.89% chance of a non-fatal reaction in subjects, members of staff will be eligible for this test. The ideal subject is as follows: blood type 0 negative, height between 5 and 6 inch, free of any genetic defects, between 18 and 40 of age. Subjects must have recently been pregnant, ideally within the past year. Regards, C. Beckman. There's a second one to Dr. Milan about the nurse. We have disagreed often, but never so more than now. I'm aware that Miss Callister doesn't work in surgery and that Chief Nurse Boxer has seniority in terms of rank. However, Callister has one of the most extraordinary organizational minds I've ever worked with. The product storage areas are clean and well indexed. Therefore, I have to challenge your demand that I remove her from her position because of these false reports she has been sending you about anomalies in the supplies. I have no doubt that your claims of her illicitly taking samples is also an accusation. She's a fine worker and reports only what she feels is right. I'll be taking no action against her. You are in charge of the project, but you must allow me to choose my staff at my own discretion. Regards, Isaiah. Okay, so far about the Dr. Rajakupar. He worked here. How do I prep this? Okay, now we got a empty stasis fluid container. Steel tank stores oxygen-rich compounds under high pressure. Oxygen storage tank. Can I do anything with it? Organic receptacle, a protein and fat storage container. He doesn't do anything with it. And there's an anesthetic storage in the surgery suite. At least one of these would be anesthetic. Your guess is that it's this one.
Surgical pot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
Okay. So I fixed this one. And now we need to prep the rest. Do I combine it with this?
I don't think this will fit.
No?
Probably not a good idea.
Empty stasis fluid container. Alright. So
Maracheck surgical pot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
So I've added the oxygen, and now we need to put something in here, and we need to do something with this stasis fluid container.
Maybe if it... No, that won't work.
Nope. Alright, so where do I get the fluid? And I need an organic receptacle. In order to get myself operated. Alright, I guess we should find out where to get that. We can't go through here yet. No, nothing changed. Can I use this?
I think that would break.
We need fluids and a pistol.
It doesn't work like that.
Maybe I can use it on the other room. I hope.
This isn't gonna work.
So he put the PDT in the reception chair, and now I should have clearance? Yeah, it's the data tag of Elizabeth Swanson. Force field off. Okay, so I thought I was opening this door, but this is also okay. Because now I can go through the force field. Yeah, to fill this tank, I hope, and find some organic matter. Yes, now we're inside. Alright, this is a room with a lot of things to do, I think. Discarded stasis pod. This pod looks like it hasn't been connected in quite some time. Empty stasis pod. An empty stasis pod brings the saddest memories flooding back. And here we have a torn apart door. This door is made from medium strength industrial compound, but has been torn apart like a paper. So we can go in here, so it seems. There's a broken stasis control terminal. Although the screen still looks functional, something's broken within. It won't work. Another stasis pod, and possibly in the middle of all this slaughter there's another survivor clearly alive. His life signs seem normal. How aware is he of what has happened on board the Groomlake? So there's a live person in here? Can we get him out somehow? There's another empty one. This stasis pod is unoccupied but functional, so I can get in here. There's an empty stasis pod. The familiar stasis pod design is the harbinger of sadness. Can we do anything with this one?
Tia, a survivor.
Is someone alive?
Not exactly. He's in stasis.
It could be dangerous to wake someone from stasis without the proper procedures being followed.
So who the hell woke me?
Get him, John. You need to think about the mission.
Well, I would like to wake him. Somebody to talk with. In real life.